Good morning to everybody and welcome to our divine service here at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. We're broadcasting both on Facebook and YouTube. So I extend a warm and loving welcome to you all. And I'd like to introduce our medium today, who's a great friend to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. I forgot his name. Iain Mason, welcome in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray. Morning, everyone. Hi.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
This morning, Iain will be doing the address and the mediumship, and Jackie will be doing a reading. So I'd like to ask Iain now to open with prayer.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks very much. Well, good morning again, everyone. If I may trouble you just to allow your eyes to rest and close. And as you do that, just take a deep breath in and out for me. Just feel your heart, mind, body and soul just joining that one special place. As we say, it's with deep appreciation, love, gratitude, joy and happiness that I say thank you to you, my divine source, my infinite creator, to everybody seen and unseen, known and unknown, to the circumstances and whatever else made it possible for me to be here right now, letting go, coming one step closer to you and standing before you in the need of prayer, where I feel you join with me, abide and reside within me, and I become the love, the light, and the healing that you are. Knowing that you will go before me and guide me on my way, well, I always will be loved, guarded, healed, and protected. And so I shine my light out into the universe, expanding and radiating my love and my healing to resonate to all that are open to receive it. As you guide my vibrational energy to align and become at one with the people, places, situations and opportunities that are here for me now at their highest and best level, that are showing me the way that you're guiding me to, where I can have the courage and trust to walk by faith and not by sight, to be able to make the biggest contribution possible that I can with my gifts, talents and abilities, so that I can fulfill and complete what I came here to do and share it with others, so we can all get better together for the good and great of everyone. And in so doing, I ask that you guide us all back home together in this special place, whilst we share our healing by sending it out to every single soul, person, place, situation and thing with need or that might be suffering, to all the planets and kingdoms in the universe, to those that we hold near and dear to us, that are around us and surround us, and to allow ourselves to receive the healing that we need in this moment, as we leave ourselves in your tender love and care and keeping for this service, in this one being that we all are, as we say thank you, amen.
So mote it be. Thank you. Now let us all say together the serenity words. God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. May those words impart upon us to help ourselves and being strong to help others. I'd like to mention all of those who can, if you're able to donate to the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church and the work we do. And we are on paypal.com, PayPal.me/LAD promotion. Any donation I'll be really grateful for. If you feel you're able to set up a direct debit, please contact us privately and Jackie and I will help you do that. But thank you all very much for those who already have and who are. And we also understand if any time you have to cut it through financial reason, that is also wonderful. So thank you very much indeed. I'd like to say hello to a few names on the screen. Happy birthday to Ma Ethan. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you very much indeed. It's our grandson Ethan's birthday today. He's 6.
Hey.
It's a great message that he's got that long. Some of the mischief he gets up to, and Iain knows that with kids.
Yep.
Ashley Robinson, I think I know you. Hello, Ashley. Happy. How are you? Christine Davis, good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Gerald, thank you. Good morning to you too. Michelle Sheldon, thank you very much, Michelle, for joining us. Thank you. June Malkin, know you too well. Thank you. Thank you, June. Try to brighten up the morning. Vicky Taylor, thank you. Good morning to you too. Donna, good morning. Welcome to our meeting. Terry Wall, good morning, Terry. How are you? Hope you're well. Claire, good morning. Wendy Payne, good morning, Wendy. I hope you're all well. Send our love. Kim, good morning. Beanie, good morning and welcome. Alwyn Williams, good morning, Alwyn. Welcome. Just two more, yeah. Janine White and George Wood. Good morning, George.
Hello,
Thank
George.
you very much indeed. And Phil, good morning. Okay, friends, I'm going to now ask Jackie to do the reading for the morning. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to be back in front of you all again this morning. Since I was last on, I've been archiving all of our records and going through the church library and finding these absolutely wonderful treasures. For those that join me on a Wednesday for our Friendship Club or the Thursday for the Psychic Picnic will know that we've spent the last 7 weeks looking through our pioneers of spiritualism. And I just want to say that next week, at the Easter weekend, you know, we've got a packed weekend full of different things in remembrance of Hydesville. And if you haven't heard about Hydesville, then make sure that you do join us. Make sure you do find out, because we're going to be interactive for the day. We're going to be using different things, such as the Zoom and Facebook. And with the Zoom, you'll be able to come and join us, because I want to ask all of you who you consider should be in a hall of merit, not of fame, not of, you know, oh, they were the best known medium, but a hall of merit, but also the spiritualists that have played a part really in influencing you in your spiritualism. And what I'm going to do by starting this morning's reading, I've actually got two fairly short things to read. The first one, this beautiful dark brown book, is actually called the Spiritual Magazine 1861. And it's one of our first spiritualist publications. And I've been looking through it to be inspired with the different things and, you know, the fors and against of spiritualism of that day. But I found a little poem in there that's actually not known who actually had written it. It just says anon at the bottom. And the words go as follows. The spirits of the loved ones and the departed are with us, and they tell us of the sky, a rest for the bereaved and broken-hearted, a house not made with hand, a home on high. They have gone from us, and the grave is strong. Yet in night's silent watch they are near. Their voice lingers us as the song of the sweet skylark lingers on our ear. When floating upwards in the flush of even, it forms its lost from earth and swallowed up in heaven. And it's just, I thought, a nice little poem. But I also wanted to read our church principles. And part of what I'm going to do on the Saturday and the Sunday over the Easter is talk about, you know, what is spiritualism? You know, where are we going, what are we doing, and about our aims and objectives, our history, notable dates, all the different things which hopefully you know, or if you don't know and you've only ever watched a, you know, a demonstration of clairvoyance and you want to know more of what spiritualism, the religion is, then please tune in and join us for a certain part of that weekend. Iain's joining us by working with our Ashley on the Sunday evening at 6 o'clock service to finish our weekend of events before our normal SPTV. And we have Matt and Kirsty working on the Saturday at 6 o'clock to finish our first day. But I just want to read our church principles, and I'm going to go more into our understanding of those principles ready for next weekend. And our first principle, that the universe is founded and subsides upon undeviating law, order and purpose. that all life is a manifestation of spirit, the continuity of human life, self, after the change called death, that every individual carries unchanged into the spirit world memory and all of his own distinctive personality and characteristics, that man is spirit now with a soul, i.e. a spirit body clothed in a flesh body from which it separates at death. The communion between incarnate and discarnate spirits, the close interrelationship of our physical and spirit spheres of condition, the ministry of angels, a continuous and progressive revelation of truth, the efficiency of prayer, personal responsibility with compensation by natural law for the good and retribution for all of the deliberate evil done here on earth, a path of eternal advancement open in every human soul that wills to tread its path of eternal good. That love, with all that it implies, is the greatest thing in the world, being the principal law of the universe, as taught by the great ever-living Master Jesus and other world teachers. The fatherhood of God and the practical brotherhood of man, and recognising Jesus as one of the master leaders. And those principles, you know, are what we believe at Wimbledon, but they go through, and you can see that golden thread in the various other spiritual organisations. And so if I whet your appetite, hopefully you'll come and join us for some of the events that we've got, because Hydesville is important. 1848 was the birth of modern spiritualism as we know it of today. That is when the churches started to open. It's when our publications started to be written. It's when people started to accept the communication from mediums and to not treat them as vagrants and move them on. We still had to wait another 100 years from 1848 right through to 1951 before the repeal of the Witchcraft Act and the Vagrancy Acts. But we had made progress. At least we weren't being burnt at the stake. So therefore we had a chance to expand, and we had a chance for many scientists of great repute to investigate spiritualism. In fact, the Church of England put a report to investigate spiritualism and decided they wouldn't publish the report because it found in favour. There were many of the reverends that were working, and the Reverend Val Owen, who consecrated our sanctuary, was one of those that investigated spiritualism and found that he had spiritual gifts himself, and then wrote books on spiritual subjects. So there's a lot for you to be able to understand of our religion, and know that there is a wonderful spiritualist religion for you to embrace that is there to support you, especially at our times when we need to know that we're not alone on this earth, that our loved ones continue to be around us at this time and to help us follow that path, our reason, our training ground for coming down. Thank you, and hope to see some of you next week. Goodbye.
Thank you, friends. Thank you very much indeed. I haven't forgot the healing. I was going to do it at the end of the service in case we get any more names, because I know throughout the morning people ask for healing. For people come up on our screen, so we'll do the healing at almost before the closing prayer this morning. So I'd like to invite Iain Mason to give the address for the morning. Sorry, wearing teeth in for my mum still. So Iain, thank you.
Thanks, Ray. Excuse me. Oh, that's frog in the old throat there. Well, good morning, everyone. Do you know what? It's great to be here once again. Great with all my friends at Wimbledon, and I'd just like to say I love you all so much. And I hope you love yourselves just a little bit more, because that's really important. There's something that goes around in the spiritual circles where people talk about, you know, sitting in the power, and I've got to get in the power to do things, to do my mediumship or my healing or whatever it is. And you know what? I'd like to share this with you today because it's so important. I want you to grab your surfboards, because we're going to ride a little tsunami wave here on the journey back to being you, in the way that I can do it best with you this morning. So I remember Maya Angelou had a lovely saying. Those of you that are familiar with her as a speaker, a great inspiration and a great friend of Oprah. And she said, my mission in life is not only to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor and some style. And what I'd like to say is, on top of that, if I could add anything, I'd say I'd like to sprinkle in just a little bit of sass, as my friend Mandy says, so you can just kind of effervesce and share yourself with the universe and shake what your mama gave you. And the reason that's important is because when you feel that you are not connected or you are not in your power, you are affirming that you are separate from this great source, this universe, this God, whatever it is for you that you feel. And that doesn't work well for you. It is not good, and it lowers your vibration. Now, here we have this scenario where a lot of people say, I need to put the protection around me. Now, whatever your views and beliefs are, that's fine. But understand beliefs are just thoughts you continue to think. But what's important is your energetic vibration, your sixth sense. You see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, but you also feel the thing that gives you that great feeling, the senses that resonate through you every time something wonderful happens. You know what that is? You know, when you make a donation to charity and you go, yeah, I did something good, you get that little tingle because you see the signs and the affirmations that you are connected and you are aligned and you are going the right way for you are the signs that follow you, because they don't proceed. And there's a bit of perhaps a misunderstanding with prayer here, because you see, we pray for the answer, but we've got to be aligned and connected so that we can feel the answers that find their way to us. And that's really important. So just consider it this way. Let's have a little bit of fun, right? For one moment, I'd like you just to believe that I am Bruce Willis and I'm in that film Die Hard, okay? And there I am, you know that famous saying, yippee-ki-yay kumusabi, which is the only version I can give on a Sunday morning. And you know what happens in these American blockbuster films? You wrestle with the baddie, one thing happens, the next thing you know is the baddie and I have had a tussle and I'm holding on to him because he's fallen over the edge of the building. And there he is, and we're holding on to our hands there, and he's just looking at me going, please save me, please save me. And he's pulling me further and further down. And in fact, trying to save him, I can actually feel myself going with him at the same time. And then all of a sudden, he lets go and falls to what we call his peril. But isn't that very true in life? That as we go along, as we wake up each morning feeling fantastic, feeling so connected, that as soon as our attention goes on something that we connect with and we get drawn into, we move away from ourselves to our own, let's just say, death. In other words, something that takes us from that state of really great feelings to a place that isn't so well for us. And now we're aware that we can feel it. You might be able to feel it in your heart or in your stomach, wherever it resonates for you, or even in situation to situation, you know, and you know that you don't feel good. And the reason is because you are out of alignment. Now, the thing that happens here is that it's not that you were never in alignment. These experiences come along in life to show you and give you the signs that you are not where you need to be. But the question is what's going on inside of you for that to be your focal point? Because if it's really absorbing you that much and you talk about it, you know, I've had it myself, if I'm truthful and honest with you, to do with weight in the past. And you know what I noticed then in my day, I say, cool, crikey, look at that person, they've lost weight, put on weight and everything else. You don't realize how subtle it is and how you affirm it in everything you think, say and do. So be very, very, very aware of that. It's so important that we are aware of the words that we say and we're aware of the surroundings that we're in, because the surroundings and the people that we share our time with are the things that can distract us from who and where we're meant to be. And that's the point. Not that you can't find your purpose, you're on your purpose, but you somehow manage to tune yourself out of it. And that's the place that you really don't want to be. Now, if you think of it this way, in that scenario with Bruce Willis, so here I am running around in my vest, trying to save everyone, including the bad guy. And that's a really important point here, because we share our love with all and we try and help everyone. But some folks don't want to be helped. And we don't know what their lesson is in life. We don't know what they're here to learn or what is unresolved for them. But isn't it true that you can probably all think of a situation or perhaps somebody in your life that, you know what, you just have to let go of if they don't let go of you for your own well-being? And this isn't in an uncompassionate way or with any wonky thinking, but you can't let other people drag you into their unresolved drama for themselves. And being an empath, as most of us and all of us actually are, it's just a question of whether we choose to be or not. But if we allow ourselves to get dragged into that, you know what? That's not going to do well for you, and it will energetically trip you up. So do be aware of that. You've only got to watch any performer, a boxer. You've only got to watch the Formula One guys, or the example that I use are the motorcycle racers. What they do is they have a focus of what they know they need to achieve. And maybe it's going round a very sharp corner very, very fast. They're aware of their conditions. They've already absorbed the track conditions in. They know whether it's raining, oil or greasy, but they've got their focus on where they need to go, and they focus their eyes on it. And the interesting thing is, if you watch them, if you watch their motorcycle helmets, they do that, and they fix on their goal, and they naturally steer themselves to where they need to be, and nothing distracts them, because if it did, what would happen? Well, we know it wouldn't end well. But ain't that so true for your life? It really, really is. So let's just have a little go at that, because you know what, in this little mini masterclass we're sharing together here now, it's no good unless you can experience it, right? So those of you that are willing to do so, I'm going to invite you just to close your eyes for one moment with me while we do this for a couple of minutes. It's a quick exercise, but it can change your life. Just take a breath in through your nose for me and out through your mouth. And just repeat that a couple of more times, just so you feel your soul settle. Because we're taking a journey from your head to your heart, so you can truly calibrate with this thing that we call God, this energy that communicates and provides us with so much in our daily lives and guides us on our way. Just keep breathing for me. Now, if you just sit there, you'll be aware, no doubt, in your mind that thoughts will start to pop in about the things that are going on for you right now, or the things that you've got to do today. Just be aware of those. Just feel that energy in your body. And if you're feeling it's a bit stressful, or if there are some challenging times for you right now, you'll be aware of how that feels in your body. Now, just take another breath in and out for me. And I want you to, in your mind, imagine and see what it is that you wish for yourself that you want to do next. The next action that you know you need to do that's going to move you forward and take you to the next best place for you, whether it's getting a chore done, the car cleaned, the kids ready and out. But just focus on what it is that you need to be next for you immediately, something very real that you can pictureize, and just focus on that for me. Okay, now some of you may see that appear as a picture in your mind's eye there. Okay, you will also be aware of your energy changing in your body as you become more relaxed. Okay, those thoughts that you had at the start now seem to be almost in your rearview mirror, far behind you, and you feel the energy change within you. And you should be feeling a slightly uplifting positivity within you as you start to focus on what you're going to do to get to where you need to be. And you can start to feel yourself being motivated to understand that, yes, I want to do that. I want to get there. I can see what I need to do. And if you don't know what you need to do, but you know the direction that you're going in, you still feel like you can achieve it. Well, don't worry, that's the guidance that guides you. But do understand this, you have to be in alignment with what this energy is, God, or whatever you wish to call it for you, and whatever your faith may be. It's all absolutely fine. But you just get that feeling that resonates within you to let you know you're going the right way. Isn't that fantastic? So now just take a breath in and out for me. Just gesture your body, wiggle your fingers and toes, and just rejoin us. Open your eyes and just allow the room to settle. You can shift your energy that quickly. You do not need to suffer. And the things that get your attention, if you're walking in the street and you see something that you don't like, the reason that you feel it is because you're sensitive. If anybody ever tells you you're too sensitive, my advice to you is to say thank you so much, because energetically you have that sixth sense that you pick up that's guiding you. But don't get lost in what's showing you what you need to resolve in yourself. And if it's something that you can't resolve, then you need to focus on that next best step for you, because you will gird yourself and move yourself forward to what seems to almost work out for you, happen easily without resistance. You don't wrestle with it. It's really important. George Bernard Shaw said, don't wrestle with the pigs. You'll both get dirty and the pigs love it. So thank you very much for your time, love and attention. But I've got one last thing I'd like to ask of you all, because there's a charge for that little episode there, but the charge is one of love. And if that has touched you, if you really felt that, then that was my heart speaking to yours, and it was. So share it with somebody else, help somebody else. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Iain. Wonderful. That really was wonderful. So inspiring. Thank you very much. And so many words have come up saying how much it's resonated with people today.
Fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. We're now going to come to that part of the service where Iain will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit and bring the two worlds just a little bit closer. If Iain should speak to you and you wish to answer yes or no, please reply what you're saying yes to, or reply what you're saying no to. So that helps Iain. And remember, there's a 10 to 15 second delay. So be patient with each other. So be very positive in what you're saying yes to. So if he says, I've got a man with a parrot on his shoulder, and someone's replying, yes, that's my granddad, that's fine. But don't say the name or anything like that. Just say, yes, I understand that man with a parrot on his shoulder and a wooden leg going ho, ho, ho on a bottle of rum. So friends, enjoy this morning, enjoy the next part of our service, which is a great work of what the Spiritualist Church is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mr. Iain Mason. Thank you, Iain.
Thank you very much, Ray. Well, hey everyone, it's me again. And just to let you know that we are on Facebook and YouTube, so don't forget, we're on the Spiritual Psychics TV page on Facebook, just in case you've forgotten. So here we go. I work in love. It's as simple as that. You know what? And every time I work, it's different for me, and I get different experiences as well. And it's quite an interesting thing, because things go off in the back of my mind as I join together with you. So I'm aware of a guy that's coming in who's telling me, Tony, 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 and he keeps saying, I'm dad, I'm dad, I'm dad. And it's funny, because although Ray mentioned in jest there the parrot, I can see budgies flying around here as well. Now, he just seems to have a very laboured breathing here as he joins with me. And also, it seems to be that his heart isn't working, and it just feels, you know, cardiovascularly like he isn't working very well here, and his body almost seems to be shutting down. And he just sort of talks about, you know, isn't it funny how you get to that point in your life where literally everything was just going to be great for you, and life is taken away from you. He keeps telling me that I need to mention Sharon here, who's physical, walking. Okay, she's not with him, and he's just acknowledging her. But I know that he just wants to come forward here and particularly be acknowledged. And he's talking to me about the April birthday that's coming up as well. So I know we have a little delay, but does anybody out there understand this so far? Come out wherever you are. Okay, so yes. So just as he's joining here with me, he comes in and he just talks about this terrible confusion that he had. Sharon Hobbs, you've come up, my darling. Yes, that's my uncle. Sharon, can you just let me know, my love, if you understand all of that? And you would also understand that he was also not only a father, but very fatherly as well. Claire Smart is saying, I can take the Sharon, and I can't quite read the rest of that message. Maybe my lovely producer can move it over slightly. The April birthday and the heart. So can anybody else understand that? It's always a joy when we work with the delays, but it's great. Okay, so yeah, I can, thank you. My lovely producer's just made it super clear for me. He's a good guy. Okay.
Now, Richard? Perfect. Yeah, I think the headphones seem to have packed up for some reason. Okay.
Okay. Start the technical issue. let's just bear with me. Right, hang on. I had am I back? Yeah, it's all right. For some reason, apologies, ladies and gentlemen, there was a blip there and I lost audio through my headphones and it's now come back. Right, so let's just see where we're going here. So I've got Tony coming in. He says that he's dad. Sharon, you understand that. Can you just let me know? Oh, you're Sharon. Obviously, there's a Sharon. But you also understand the breathing and the heart issues. And Claire, I believe you understood all of that as well. Okay, so right. Okay, let me just see where he's going and what he wants to do. He's just come in. He doesn't seem to really want to mess about. He just wants to come in and just say there's a little bit of confusion at the moment about what you want to do next, about what he says is getting your house in order. So Sharon and Claire, do please listen in and I can work out who I'm with here. He just seems that he's, in the way that he can't find his dog, it's a really funny thing. He says, you can't find your life. And the way that he just makes me feel about this is that, you're not sure. Oh, Sharon, you're saying, yes, that's the way he passed. Okay, thank you. So, Sharon, I am quite drawn to you, so I'm going to work with you, my darling, and I'm going to ask Claire to listen in. So, Sharon, the way that he comes forward here for me, he just talks about you feeling a little bit lost in yourself at the moment. And he's just saying, a bit like we were talking in the address there, about you getting your priorities in order. But that's not to sound disrespectful. It's about doing the things that you know you need to do for you. And he seems to say that, look, he's aware that you are, how can I put it, as we would all be, but a little focus perhaps too much on the money at the moment, and he wants you to focus on the bigger picture of where you need to be. He says the money stuff will sort itself out. We're not going to go into details, my darling, so please don't worry. He just lets me know here that resolves itself. When you're going the right way, he says to me here, everything unfolds for you too. He also wants to give you a little bit of healing here, because he's just given me a little pain at the bottom of my neck and the top of my shoulder, because he says, look, it is time for you just to take a little bit of a rest and a little bit of a step back. He also seems to be drawing my attention to your ankle as well. So I don't know what you've done to that, but it almost feels that you have got this situation both physically as well. And oh, he's just moved the goalpost for me. What are you doing with that? Okay, all right. And he's just saying to me here, it's important that you do the things that matter too. So, Anne, yeah, I've got you. I'll come back to you in a moment, my darling. So, Sharon, if that makes sense for you, can you please let me know? But it's just important that you understand that he is with you. Okay, yes, pain in the neck, thank you. Yeah, some people say that about me, Sharon, but I'm lovely, really. All right. And he just brings in that little bit of humour too. So, you know what? Just sit back, focus on what's important, and don't put your attention on the things that take you away from where you need to be. Because he says, do you know what? You can put all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together and build that picture for yourself. So I'm going to leave his love with you and say thank you for working with me. So, oh, bless you, my darling, your ankle. Okay, well, with your permission, we will all send you some love and some healing. If you can let us know that we can do that. If I could trouble you all to hit the hearts if you're on Facebook, and just send the loving comments on YouTube. Thank you so much. Now, okay, so Claire, my darling, let's just work this in order, because it's funny how things work out. Claire, what of that message did you understand, my darling? I know we just got to work with the slight delay here just to get that feedback from you, and we'll see what Claire puts up. I feel, Claire, to be truthful with you, you've got a message from a message there, and I feel that will resonate with you and apply to you too, because I don't feel that I need to communicate with you per se from him. Okay, but I know that will strike a chord for you. So bless you, and I hope that does what it needs to do. So I'm going to move on, because there was Anne Bothwell as well, whose name I saw come up. Yeah, now Anne, if this is the Anne that I know, Anne is a friend of mine, someone that I know, but like us all, we know a lot of people, and I don't know everything in her life. Anne's saying you can take everything. And do you understand Tony as dad, please? Can you just let me know? Because that's really quite important for me. He's just coming forward as dad, Tony, he says, Tony. And he's just talking also about he would have had mobility problems and issues with the back. Now, I'm aware, because we have spoken in the past, that you've had a couple of similar issues yourself. But if this is your dad that's coming through, then I just need you to let me know, because it's important that I then pass the message that he wants on. He's actually quite, what I want to say, deadpan. He's not kind of like a really effervescent personality coming through. He's almost like he's got his serious head on here. And just as he's coming forward here, he's just talking about it's important for you to cut the ties with the things that don't serve you anymore. And he's talking about family, friends, but more importantly, not getting hung up on the circumstances that seem to, from your point of view, be dictating your life in what you can't achieve. And it's kind of that, turn your frown upside down, turn it into a smile. Now, he's talking to me here. Would you understand why he mentions about taking in a stray dog? Because he's just like he's gathered another dog here. So I've got two of the little so-and-sos running around with me in the back of my mind. So, Anne, if you're still with us, can you let me know, please? That'd be great. It's always good fun working with a delay. Okay. Oh, Claire, just while we're waiting for Anne to come back, Claire's saying, my partner, his mum, Sharon, I've just had a baby to him and he's another daughter. I've just moved out of our flat. I've just moved out of our flat and birthday in April. Okay, Claire. All right. Well, while we're just waiting for Anne, and Anne call also, but it's a tattoo. Well, look, if it's a sore ankle, my darling, there it is. Okay, but like I say, the thing there was, it just felt like an affirmation for you, that you were getting a reading from a reading, and when I get that, it's just a heads up that we're going the right way, and that you are on track and on purpose. All right. I don't know. Oh, actually, yes, I do. While we're waiting for Anne, I'm just going to do another quick message, Claire, with you. I've got what feels a mother that isn't a mother for you that's coming close, and it almost feels like, I don't know whether this is an aunt or a grandmother that's coming in that would have been very close to you. My partner passed his mum's, Sharon. I've had our daughter. I've just moved out of our flat, and it's my sister and cousin's birthday in April. Okay, Claire, if I'm understanding you, am I reading right that your partner has passed or your partner's mum's passed? Okay, I think we're taking it as your partner's mum's passed and Sharon. Okay, but she'll be very close for you, my darling, because she's a mum that isn't a mum, and that's a really important energy that comes through. So my apologies, we are back with you after all of that. Funny how these things work, isn't it? Now, as she comes forward here, I know that she says to me here that she wished she could have been there for your daughter, but she says to me that she wasn't. But she's with you now, and she says to me here that you would have felt her when you were in the delivery room. And she says she came into your mind, and she said you felt somebody squeeze your hand. And she says, that was me. Yeah, no, my partner died when I was 4 months pregnant. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. That's a real shame. So Claire, I'm so sorry about that, my darling. But do you understand this connection for your partner's mother? Then I just need to get to that. Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry, my darling. Right. Okay. Then I'm misunderstanding the message, and I need to apologise. I've got this lady here that's communicating with me that is a mum that isn't a mum. So it has to be either like an aunt or a nan or something like this for me. I know that she would have had heart complications herself. That's quite important. But I've got this lady that's communicating. Okay, no, it's not that, my darling. This has to be like a grandmother figure or like an aunt figure here that isn't mum, because I've got a lady here that's saying, I'm like the mum to you. And that's when they stand in place of a mother figure when that comes for me. You've got your gran. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. And she just as she comes forward here, do you understand then that you had this sort of sense or awareness of her being with you when you were giving birth to your daughter? Because she says that I wasn't there to see her, but she's just making me know that she was squeezing your hand and she came into your awareness. It's like you saw her or you would have felt her in some way. And she's saying, I was whispering to you, I was whispering to you. She's talking about you giving her a name and passing a name down after somebody in memory of. Would you understand that? Because she really likes that touch. She's really quite overjoyed with that. That's what I want to say. Now she's I can see the shadow, effectively, the energy of your partner here in the back of my mind that's standing to my side. And I just get this terrible confusion around, okay, I'm glad you understand it, my darling, thank you. I just, with your partner, my love, and if you're okay with me to carry on with this, I just get this sense of like complete confusion and almost being totally out of it at the point he passes. And he just makes me feel that this was quite quick. And just as he comes forward here, he's talking about what looks like a bracelet, and it almost looks like a loose chain. And he's making a reference to this about being a gift and a gift of love from him to you. And he's saying, wear the bracelet, because you'll know that I'll never leave you. He says that he was sort of coming and going a lot during the pregnancy, and indeed before he passes as well, because it's like he's here 1 minute and gone the next. But he's saying, you know, I never leave you, I never leave you. And he just wants to give that sort of, what I want to say is gentle message back to you. Let me just see, he's just doing something here. He's moving around. Okay. My darling, do you understand why you need to get the papers in order? Okay, and this isn't affairs to do with him. He's saying there's something here for you to do to sort out the next steps that you need to take to sort out your housing. I know you said you moved out of the flat, but he says there's something coming up where you're working towards getting a new place for you, and it's important that you get the papers in order. Okay, and what are you saying here, my darling? Oh my God, it's my partner's gran who is buried with my daughter's name. Is after my dad, her dad, and his gran Robin. After my dad Harris, after his gran and Stevie Cox, after her dad, and yes, his sister got. Okay, so you understand. You your sister got the bracelet from him for your daughter. So that's fantastic. And this is what he's doing here. Thank you so much for that, because you know he is very faint in my energy, and that's nothing to do with how long he's been passed, my darling. Oh, and he's ADHD, he can't sit still. Okay, well, guess what? He's not changed. But if he did, you wouldn't recognise him. Okay, and you understand about the medical for your son. But this is also not only about getting a house in order, but this is also about you moving on to where you now need to be, because circumstances are changing for you with what you need for you. In other words, to work a little bit better, like the flat didn't work out, you just need something that's like a different configuration, a bigger house or whatever. And he's aware of that, and he just wants you to keep going with that. And he's just sending a lot of love. He's quite difficult to communicate with, my darling, I have to say. I know you've told me he's ADHD there, but he keeps flipping in and out for me. And it's like he goes away and comes back with a gift like the bracelet, which was just such a lovely touch. But he just says to me here, look, you know what? You know I'm always with you. Now, he's laughing about the tattoo that you mentioned, because he says, well, if you will do daft things, but he says, yeah, I do love the tats, is what he's saying to me here. All right. So just understand that he and your family are all around you. So I'm going to leave your partner's love with you. I'm going to leave your grand's love with you. And I'm going to say thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and all the very best to you. Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry, my darling. All the very best to you all. Whew. Okay. So I don't know, I'm going to ask my lovely producer if the lovely Anne Bothwell has been able to come back to us at all. Okay, so we've got a message here on screen from Anne. She says, please may I ask for some healing as I had a fall and in a lot of pain. Thank you. Okay, of course you can, my darling. So if I could also ask all the viewers that are watching just to send all your love to Anne and send us some healing as well. And do you understand the message, Dad Tony, that comes forward, please? I'm going to ask my lovely producer whether we actually got that confirmation back from you. And bear with us because he's got to go through the comments. Yeah, there. Okay, Anne. Okay, fine. And Anne, can you just let me know, my love, do you understand Dad Tony that comes in? And he's also making reference to September birthdays as well. Excuse me. He's just made me burp there actually as well, and I know that I would have had difficulties with my food here going down. That wasn't me being rude, ladies and gentlemen. He just gave me like that little bit of, reflex there as the food goes down. So does that make sense, Anne? Because he just keeps coming forward. It does, and it clearly is my friend Anne as well. I know her, but I obviously, like a lot of you, don't know everything that goes on in your life. Great. So Dad Tony comes in, and he's talking about, if you like, the lost shepherd factor with you, my darling. And as he comes in here, he's just talking about don't pick up waifs and strays yourself as you go forward. You may remember before I did that message for the lovely Claire that I talked about. He had the dog there and he couldn't find his dog, and then he brought another dog in, and that's what he did. And what are you saying here? Sorry, say again. Okay, so Dad Tony comes in. He has the breathing complications here. He seems a bit, what I want to say is not with it completely as he passes. I know he would have had the breathing conditions, and I know that he would have suffered with his heart. I know that he would have felt like he was at the point of life where he should be really enjoying those golden years, if I can put it that way. But unfortunately, that wasn't to be for him, and he left his body and went to the spirit. And he comes forward here just aware that situations around you, again, to do with the address, they shouldn't distract you from who you are and what you need to do for you at the moment. He's talking about the issues to do with the back, and he's talking about having the pain with the back there. Now, as he comes forward, he's looking for his dog, but then he also brings in another dog, and this other dog that he brings in, you're September and you struggled eating. Okay, he's just given me these terrible feelings, but I know the eating would have also been with him as well. He's just saying that it's important that you don't pick up what he's calling waifs and strays as you go through life, and to be more in tune with knowing where you don't want to go and where you don't want to spend your time, as much as where you do want to go and where you do want to spend your time, and almost know the difference. A bit like the serenity prayer that Ray read out at the beginning of the service. Okay, some situations that you can't change, but don't carry them. And he just makes me feel that you will feel a lot lighter for that. He's also talking about like the fuzzy head and the headaches with you as well, but he means that more so, my darling, in the sense of you being clear of mind and to know what you need to do. And you say, what are you saying here, Anne? Pass from heart attack, indigestion all the time, and your back's crumbling. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But he did just give me that feeling of that indigestion and that heart there. So he's just saying, just be aware of where you go, who you need to spend your time with, and make sure that you focus on that so that the other stuff doesn't drag you down. So enjoy your dad's love. I'm going to leave his love with you. And as I say, thank you very much for working with me. Okay, right. Let's see where we're going next. Oh, well, that's really strange. Whew. I've just got this lady that's just come in, and she's just sort of, what I want to say is tottered in. She's an elderly lady, bless her, and she's got like a cheeky, scampish way about her. and she's chewing what looks like either a toffee or some fudge here, and she knows that she shouldn't be, but she's almost trying to keep it a secret. And she, bless her, she hasn't got many teeth there. And I know that I was going to say Nan, but she said, no, I'm Gran. And she's coming in here, and she's not very tall, bless her. She's probably about 5'3" at best. Now, she takes me straight away to, let me just work this out. She wants to acknowledge a wedding anniversary in December. That's what she's doing here. And when's the birthday, my darling? She just wants to acknowledge a July birthday that's quite important. When do you want to go, darling? Beginning, middle, or end? Okay, and she's taking me to the birthday in July that will be around the 16th or 17th. It's just family members that she's just trying to acknowledge here. It's like she wants to get around the whole family. She's quite a people pleaser as she comes in, so it's like she's trying to acknowledge everybody that she can. She's also acknowledging her son here as well, and as in the physical walking here on earth. And as he's around, it's quite interesting because she seems to want to say that wherever the son is, it's important that those come around him to let him know that life isn't as bad as you believe it to be, and that his health isn't so serious that, you know, it causes him to kind of not be able to start living. Yeah.
Iain, I've got somebody here that's doing some work for me, but they think it's them, and they're just going to start typing back.
Okay, that's fabulous. It's funny how it works, isn't it?
I know. Give her a couple of moments. She's just going to type it back.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you.
Fairly sure it's with her.
Perfect. Thank you so much for stepping up.
You won't come and speak on the microphone.
Yeah. Oh, come on. I don't bite. Come on, I'm Bruce Willis.
She does, but it's another story. Just like her mother. So do you understand that? Yeah.
Okay.
And nurseries and birthdays.
Oh, okay. And I can't. And do you understand Ethel?
Yes.
She understands Ethel. Okay. But would you understand, my darling? What's your name? Can I ask your name?
Kim.
Kim. Thank you, Kim. Kim. She's just saying here as she comes in. She just really wants to hold your hand at the moment. And lead you away from everything that's going on around you, because she's just saying to me here, the words that I can only say are, it's all a bit grim. Now, I don't want to upset you when I say that, but you know, when I said in the address about the focus, she's just saying to me here, you don't need to get caught up in all of that. She says it's about time that you got the strength up. And I know this sounds a bit sharp, but these are her words, my darling, and not mine. She's saying it's about time you just got up and went and did what you wanted to do, because you should be fed up of almost asking permission for it. And she just gives me that feeling like you've either given your power away.
She understands all of that.
Okay, perfect. All right. And she just wants you to get up and go for it. And she says what will happen is all the people that were resisting you before will fall into line and end up finding their place in your life, rather than you trying to find your place in theirs. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And I'm going to leave her love with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. She really appreciates that. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you so much.
Great bit of experimental mediumship, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it works, doesn't it?
All right, mate. I'll mute myself again.
Okay. All right. Okay. Right. We'll see where we go next. Okay. Right. So, oh, that's really funny how it all comes together, isn't it? All right. So let me see. Oh my goodness gracious me. Okay. Oh, Christine, you're saying your auntie is Ethel. Okay, Christine. Well, I know that definitely from the way that came about, that wasn't for you, and probably this will go the same way as Claire now. I feel that you would have got that message, a message from that message, my darling, too. So uncanny that your birthday is also the same. Actually, before I just munch on, Christine, let me just say this. If I am with you, do you understand a David here that would be walking that your gran would know, please? Now, she doesn't necessarily have to know him in person, but would know that he is here walking the earth, that would be connected with you. And I just want to find out if I'm with you. I know there's that slight delay, so I'll just give you a few moments to type back. Because she just keeps saying to me, David, 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 David. And this is a guy that's almost quite either guiding, quite serious, or would be like an advisor for you, perhaps quite strong in personality that might push your buttons a little bit, but would be somebody that would be wanting to come forward to give you good advice. Does that make sense? He's quite a powerhouse here to be reckoned with, and he's trying to push on, push on, push on. And I'll carry on for a moment whilst you're typing back to us. And he's just talking about, look, again, he comes in talking about money, and he says it's important that you get the money in the right places. And it's almost like, don't leave it all in one pot, put it in sort of separate little envelopes here, just to get yourself set up. And he's saying, don't have too much of a focus on the money. He's talking about it's far more important to get your health back on track. Now, I'm not being rude to you, my darling. He's just given me this impression that it's important that you have the focus of being well yourself. And I want to say to you is to be strong enough so that you can stand firmly on your own and not be dictated to by others, so that you can get done what you need to get done. Because he's talking to me here about you needing a little bit more freedom for yourself. Yes, my darling, I did say David. I'll just give you a few seconds there to come back. Okay, yep, your aunt is Ethel. Thank you for confirming that. And do you understand the David here that connects with you, that's physical, walking? Would be quite like an advisor for you. Somebody would either like an authority or a certain air of that presence that would guide you. You don't recognise the name David. Okay, all right. Okay. Well, just bear with me then. But do you understand why your nan has said that about how she sees you needing to sort life out? Like, do the best you can with what you've got, get the money into the right envelopes. But the most important thing for you to do now is heal. But she's also talking about healing your heart, my darling, as well. And this is in a loving connection, not necessarily a health connection, you understand? All right. And she's just talking about you getting strong, getting physically fit, if you like, again, to carry on. Because she says there's no point sweating the small stuff. It's far more important that you heal what needs to be healed so you can go on. Okay. And Linda's saying here, wow, she can take every message today, even a David and his personality. And yes, he does push my buttons. Okay, Linda, then listen in, my darling, because I just need to finish off with my lovely lady before you, Christine, and then I'll come back. But Christine, does that message resonate with you from Graham, please? Because it's coming forward in a very heartfelt way for you. You can just let us know, that'll be great. Fabulous. And we're going to quickly whiz back to Linda. Don't worry too much. We know there's a few seconds delay sometimes. Oh, are you still all there? Are you there, my lovely producer? Still hear you. Have you got any more from Christine? Nothing else has come up on my screen. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I wouldn't want to jump back. Yes, Auntie would say that. Okay, all right. So you understand this as Auntie. That's great. So you know what? It's really important. It's like, you know, don't. The saying goes, let your heart rule your head, but don't let your head rule your heart. In other words, all that thinking, and that's what she wants to say. So be strong for you, get fit and well, and don't worry about the rest. Make the best provisions that you can for yourself, and just get on and keep going. I'm going to leave a love with you. Thank you, my darling, for speaking up there. What a crazy morning it is this morning, everyone. So my lovely producer, I'm going to ask you to pop back the message from Linda Parry, please, because Linda, I would just like to pop to you. And you're saying, well, you can take a message today, but this is the important part. This is why I need to come back. You understand David's personality, and yes, he does push your button. Fine. And do you understand the Nan connection here that would be aware of David walking? All right, because it's definitely a Nan I've got here that's coming forward here. Now, sometimes people get confused because they say, well, Nan didn't know of David, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is she's telling me that David is here. He's quite a strong personality, and he's pushing your buttons. And he's just talking here about, with you, my darling, there's a money factor coming here as well. Now, this isn't about anything for you to worry about. This is just making sure that you back the right horse. And the feeling that she pushes through me here is making sure that you have enough going in the right direction of what you want to do next, because she's just talking about like a relocation that happens for you. Yeah, you understand it's your gran. Perfect, because she comes forward and says she's gran. And just as she comes forward here, she's just saying to me here, look, get everything in shape where you are. And it feels that life's quite good, because she makes me feel that you're just sort of almost riding the crest of the wave yourself there, and it's feeling really good for you. But she says you've got ideas about what you want next. And she talks to me about a move, and she keeps showing me connections overseas. And she says there are connections to Australia in the family as well. But she says it's important that for you to live the life that you want to do, you've got to be able to look after yourself here and there. And almost that she says that you feel quite teased at the moment, that you've almost got to step outside of your comfort zone and move before you've resolved everything where you are, because you've got to have the confidence to follow your dreams and know that everything else will work out. Does that make sense for you? Because she says David here is quite a strong advisor, and he's almost working with you, but kind of slightly against you in the way that I feel it, by almost being quite conservative and making sure that everything is in order. But she's quite excited, and she says, look, you know what? All work and no play makes Jackie a dull girl. I can't say Jack because you're a girl. All right. And that's what it is. And she's just encouraging you to say yes. So be practical, but get everything ready, and then just go for it and have the faith that everything will work out. So if you can let me know that you can understand that, that'll be fantastic. She's quite excited. She's giving me this feeling that like the fog is clearing for you about where you want to go, and you understand that. And you know, you're sort of almost holding yourself back a little bit, that you know this is what you want to do, but you almost are talking yourself out of it at the same time. And she's just saying, look, just go for it, just go for it. You know that it's right. Now, you have your own free will, but this is what she's passing forward. She's just talking about brighter days ahead. Totally. Relocating, more a tsunami than crest. Hey, listen, I don't want to worry you, right? Yes, it's going on at the moment. I need to remove myself from my present situation. And she just makes me feel that, you know what, you know, the skies will clear, and you're going to feel so much better as you move forward into those better times. So I'm going to leave your grand's love with you and say thank you so much for working with me. Great. So I don't know how we're doing for time, Ray. What do we... I haven't got his mic on, or Mr. Producer.
You've got enough time for one more, or if you're finished, you're finished. Whatever you're happy with.
You know what? The energy's settled for me, Ray, to be truthful.
That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you very much, everyone. Much love.
Thank you. Thank you, Ian. You've had a great morning. Thank you very much. And the experimental mediumship one we did today can go down in the book.
Yeah, well, including the technical challenge as well that happened. You know, you have to roll with it, don't you? Keep going.
Yeah, well done, Ian. Thank you very, very, very much. Well, friends, before we do the adverts for the coming day, I just want to go back to the healing moments. And I want to ask healing for a number of people, the names that have come up today as well. So, being slightly selfish, I'm asking healing for our daughter Rachel. She has a baby in just under 2 weeks now. And it's quite exciting for all the family. I don't know if Sean's as excited as he would like to be, but Formula One's back today, so he'll probably be okay. But Rachel's a little bit nervous, as you would imagine. She's got a planned C-section, so it's all good. So thank you very much. Adding another Kelly to the healing list. And so if you could do that as well. I'm also asking healing for Jill, for Rose, for Lynn, for Amber, Kelly, Jessica, and Kelly again, for Jackie, for Barbara, for Shirley, for Kaylee, for Kelly and Stephen, for Sharon and Anne Bothwell. I ask for healing of mind, body and spirit for all of those we have called out here today, and especially those people whose names are deeply inscribed in our hearts and our minds that we haven't perhaps mentioned here today. May healing go out to them all. And we ask a blessing upon the work of healers, doctors, nurses, therapists, healers all. May they be blessed and continue in their work for the benefit and upliftment of mankind as we know it. So mote it be. Thank you, friends. Now we're going to have some adverts. I see that, Sally, and I put your name down. That's okay. Sunday sofa at 2 o'clock. Wonderful, girls. Gossip with readings. Hey. So if you want to gossip about your neighbour and get a reading about it, that'd be wonderful. Witches. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Don't upset any witches, girls, because they might put a spell on you. There's a few witches in spiritualism. And I'm serious with that, I'm not being bitchy. VIP night, looking great, once again. Yeah, 7:30 tonight, free mediumship readings and mediumship training on week 2. Thank you very much. Okay, and there'll be a wonderful advert coming out over the next few days and weeks about our spiritual weekend in joint collaboration with Spiritual Psychics TV. Richard and the team will be doing that, and my Ashley, because they do a far better job. And my Ashley's got a wonderful voice for doing speakovers of these things, far better than me. So that's great. Thank you very much. And I'd like to publicly say once again, I know he won't like it, I'd like to thank Richard for all he does for Spiritual Psychics TV, he does for the spiritual movement as a whole. Can I also point out and remind people that Jackie's Wimbledon Church's Friendship Club is on a Wednesday, 12 till 2. On Thursday, Spiritual Picnic, 1 till 3, and Hydesville next weekend, 9:30 Saturday morning. And it's Olwyn saying thank you to everybody. Thank you very much. And I also like to be thankful for all the people who have said some kind words about me on my phone and everything, and how well I look. Just shows you what a bit of makeup can do, doesn't it? Jackie and I have moved so much furniture the last couple of days. The last 2 days, I've moved over 100 chairs from one place to another, and my back's telling me that. So, as I say, a bit of makeup, bit of foundation, it all looks good. Robin Stevens told me that. Thank you, Julie. So, I'd like to thank you all for being here today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to being able to welcome you all back soon between June and July here physically in the church, and as well as doing our meetings over the wonderful internet, spiritual net, so I'm starting to call it. So thank you. Thank you, Holly, for a lovely service. Thank you for saying so. So Iain, would you close our meeting with prayer, please?
Yeah, I'd love to, Ray. Thank you very much indeed. So everyone, if I could trouble you just to close your eyes once again for me. Just take a deep breath in and out as we say, Divine Source, Infinite Creator, to everybody seen and unseen, known and unknown, to the circumstances and whatever else made it possible for our family, friends and loved ones to pass the messages to us today. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. We ask that you walk with us in every moment and give us the signs that when we go in a direction we know we must follow in our hearts, that we get the feelings that let us know that we are going the right way, as indeed Iain had to do today with the slight technical issue with his headphones, for which he apologises, I'm sure. But as you guide us on our way, walking with us, and we follow you, knowing we will always be where we need to be, we ask that you send down a blessing upon us to keep us safe, always guiding us to the next best space and place in every moment. So you will always find us where you know we need to be, as we ask you to please bind your will behind the meaning of the purpose of whatever it is you have in store for us, you intended for us, that you created us to fulfill, to do thy will on earth as is done in my paradise, my heaven, as we leave ourselves being in your tender love and care, and we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all. Once again, thank you all for joining us today. I hope you've had a lovely service, and I hope, Iain, you look after yourself. I hope to see you soon.
You.
Physically,
You will?
if not, I was going to say spiritually, I don't mean it like that, but virtually. Look after yourself. Hope your little boy gets on well and the rest of the family. Look after yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Ray Robinson wishing you all a good, wonderful Sunday. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye.